Hello everyone, Mr. Simple Majority here, and welcome to episode 1 of Let's Play Subnautica. This is an early access game that was released by Unknown Frontiers, I think it is. God, it feels bad now. I had this all memorized. Anyways, it came out in December of 2014. I picked up the game in October of 2015, and it was after I'd been playing Far Sky for some time. I really liked the idea of Far Sky, but it was very limited and it just didn't seem to be updated. I believe it was on Twitch, and somebody had suggested I look into Stranded Deep was the game. So I was like, okay, well, I looked at that, and I wasn't really excited by Stranded Deep, but one of the alternative games was Subnautica, and even back then the game was very polished and very nice looking. And there was a lot to do, and there still is. There's actually even more now. So, we have 4 ways of playing the game. We're going to go with survival, and we're going to get loading. I'm going to use this loading screen. It won't take very long, but I'm going to use this to talk about the early entry. In the beginning, the computer's going to talk to us quite a bit, so I'll quieten down so you guys can hear that. After that, we'll be doing a lot of cutouts, so I can do farming and such. But we'll go through the biomes, talk about the stuff that we're going to find there, and so forth. Alright, here we go. Please be right. Was I right? Unknown Worlds Entertainment? I'm going to feel really bad if I got this wrong. Yes. I'm awesome. Hey. We are playing the release build. This is, if you buy the game, this is the build you'll be playing.
2, 1.
This will be the build that you'll be playing. There goes the ship. And down we go. Anywho, I decided not to do the experimental build because people buying the game may just be, you have all this stuff, but I don't have it in my game. So I'd rather play on this one for the first time through. Next time we'll play with the experimental build. So here we go. All right, so we got a fire. We've already crashed. Grab this and we'll give it a quick inspection. All right, just go ahead and hold the right click again. There we go. Put the fire out. Okay, here we go. This is going to be our PDA. Normally you used to have to open it.
Greetings, survivor. Great job not dying. To assist you in further survival in emergency situations, you have been issued this personal data assistant. The interface visible now will organize your inventory, display currently available construction blueprints, and holds other valuable information. Please take a moment to familiarize yourself with it.
Alright, let's do that. So, the left side here represents your inventory. This cannot be expanded. It is finite, and I bring that up because certain items, like this is 1 by 1, but there's going to be items that will take 2 by 2, and then up to 3 by 3. So you're going to want to prioritize your plans when you go out for a dive. If you know you're going to be carrying back big items like creep vines and seed clusters, or even scrap, you're going to want to make sure you have the most inventory available to you. To the right, we have our ragdoll or paper doll. This is our equipment screen. We have 2 upgrade slots to put items into. We'll talk about those as we progress in the game. Of course, our suit itself, our oxygen tank, and then over here, this empty spot is actually for your gloves. As she said, there's multiple tabs. You can view your blueprints. So we can go switch over here, and we can see exactly what we need to make items, and what blueprints we actually already know. Alright, then we have our voice log, which will show us all the logs that we've received so far. Anytime you get a voice log thing that can be played back, a play symbol will be here for you. The photo album, you can take screenshots. It says press E, but I have never got it to work. It may not be working yet, or maybe got to be in the ocean. I've never really got it to work. So, finally, we have our data bank, which will contain anything that we scan, any flora or fauna that we scan in, will be placed in here. It has some very basic information about the vessel. I just saw something that was funny. Dark matter, ion drive V8. Stuff about the life pod, just basic kind of information. Oops. Now, switch back to inventory. Down at the bottom we have our quick access slots, which are numbers 1 through 5 on the keyboard. You can reassign any item by simply pressing the number you want to move it to. And I believe it says you can quick assign, left button quick assign slot, but I think it has to be empty or it has to be off of there. Once again, I just usually go 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever I want to put it, I'll move it. We're not done yet. In the bottom left corner, we have our heads-up display. We have O2, which is measured in seconds. So right now, without any oxygen tanks holding air, we can do 45 seconds per dive. Our health, our hunger, and finally our thirst. Our top priority right now is to get our health and our water up, our thirst up, and try to get some sort of stabilized production of food going. Now, our pod, I just skipped ahead. Let's cover that. We have a medical kit fabricator. So you left click to open it. You can grab a kit, and you'll notice the lights that were blinking now stop. This will produce a med kit. I think it's like every 15 minutes. I think I can't remember if it's 15 or 30, but it'll produce a kit, and you can just reach in there and grab it. You just saw me open the storage container. We'll look at that again. Take a look. You'll always start with 2 flares, 2 bottles of filtered water, which give 20 hydration, and 2 nutrient blocks, which give 75 food. So we'll go ahead and grab a bottle of water and a nutrient block. To move items...
Detecting increased local radiation levels. Trend is consistent with ongoing degradation of the Aurora's dark matter drive core due to damage sustained during collision. Continuing to monitor.
Okay. To move items, simply right-click to switch containers. You can also, while having an inventory open like this, you can go ahead and drink by left-click. So if I want to go ahead and heal myself, I can do that. And go ahead and do that. Now, right now, we're stable. Let me grab that other bottle. So we're 100% stable at the moment. Next we have our fabricator. This is where we're going to do our crafting at. And it's broken into 4 categories: resources, sustenance, personal, and deployables. Each category, some categories have multiple subcategories, like this. Resources has basic materials, advanced materials, electronics. Right now, food only contains water, and we only know how to make disinfected water. Personal has 2 categories: equipment and tools, and finally deployable is a single category. Alright, so that covers pretty much our pod. You'll notice right now it says we need to repair our life systems with a welder. We have a communication array that's also damaged, and we need to repair it. There are 2 ways in and out of the pod. You have the surface access, which will get us right in the ocean, in the top of the pod where you can climb out and look out. So we do that. Wow, we're way off. Usually I'm over that way. So there's the Aurora. You can see she's currently on fire and resting. It's going to let us talk about radiation here in a few moments. There's a radiation zone around the ship. It's pretty large. So what we're going to want to do first off is get ourselves a radiation suit to protect ourselves. So if we accidentally swim in that zone, we won't die. Now, let's get wet. So here's the heart of the game. All underwater. As I said, we need to get stable food and water production. We're going to do that with these fish. This here is called the peeper. When I pick it up, you'll notice it gave me two new recipes, cooked and cured peepers. I want a few of these guys. There's actually an easier way to catch these guys, but the method is persistence. These guys, when they feel threatened, they will take off swimming. They have pretty good stamina. As you can see him.
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
There we go. Your computer will warn you about getting to the surface. Sometimes she'll let you know at 30 seconds, and other times she'll let you know at 10 seconds. So always keep an eye on your oxygen levels as you're going. The next kind of fish we want, I'm going to grab that keeper right there. So this is going to be our food right here. Where'd he go? There he is. Come here. Okay. So how many do we have? 5. The next kind of fish we're going to want to get our hands on is this. This is called an air sac. It's going to let us make the air bladder, filtered water, and you can also cook them or cure them. I have never,
10 seconds
ever
of oxygen
cooked
remaining.
these fish because they are your source of water. So, you'll definitely want to grab a few of these guys. I noticed that at nighttime it gets a little easier to catch these fish. They're not as active at night. They will still swim away from you, like that one did. Where did he? Oh, there it is. They will still swim away from you, but not as fast. And as you can see, nighttime is starting to approach. It's a really awesome moon. I've actually seen this actually eclipse out the sun. It's really cool to watch. Alright. How many air sacs we have? 5 and 5. That'll be a good starting point. So when we hop in, we're going to store these fish real quick. Use the storage you have on your ship to help you out in the beginning. That's what it's there for. Now we have some food and water ready for us. Oh, by the way, storing them in the storage chest like that, they won't degrade or die. Neither will they if you... Actually, they won't even degrade or die if they're die in your inventory. So, I usually store them away. There's no sense in keeping the fish. What you want to look for in the very beginning is this. This is break limestone. When we come up to this, I'll say break limestone outcrop left mouse. So it's going to take a couple of hits, and you're going to get an element from it.
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen
We just
remaining.
collected copper. It will also give us titanium and lead. You're definitely going to want to break a few of these. Stay away from that right now. Let's see if we can find another one here. Don't feel upset if you can't find these. They can be kind of tough to come across. There's titanium. And that's why largely I'll be doing that off camera. Because it's a lot of swimming around. And especially in the very beginning, it's a lot of surfacing and going back down. And continuing the search. Now, if you're having trouble finding, if you're looking for titanium and you're having real trouble finding it, you can also collect these. These are metal salvage. And they can be broken down into 4 titanium. Alright. Another thing you're going to want to pick up in the beginning is these guys. Quartz. I'll often refer to these as crystals, because essentially quartz is a crystal. These are key components for a lot of crafting recipes, including glass.
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
There we go. And there we go. So how much room do we have? Plenty. Now, what we're going to do is kind of an all-in-wonder thing. I'm going to introduce you to a new biome. And right now where we're in is called Safe Ocean Zone. Or Safe Ocean Biome. So there's no hostile creatures in here, just defensives. These things here look like they're hostile, but they're not. They're actually defensive. If you get too close, they will launch pods. And then those pods will explode when they are poisonous. But otherwise, they're not going to chase you down trying to kill you. Now, in the beginning, you're going to need titanium. You're going to need quartz. You're also going to need something called creepvine seed clusters. That's those little pods on there. This is in the area called the kelp forest. And you want to be careful in here because there is an aggressive fish. It is called the stalker. But we're going to get 6 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If I open my inventory, you'll note that they
Emergency.
take
10
2 by
seconds
2.
of oxygen remaining.
Let me get to the surface here. You'll note that they take 2 by 2 of your inventory. Same with metal salvage, so plan accordingly. How many, okay, good, plenty. So let's head into the pod. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab those air sacs. You're going to actually use water faster than you will your food supply. So you want to keep a lot of water on hand. Go ahead and get that fish. If we open up our menu, if we go to sustenance, you're going to notice there's new categories. Cured and cooked food. And if we go to water, we'll now see that there's filtered water. There's no automated or multiple crafting, so you'll have to manually click this. Every time I do this, you'll notice at the top here, just below death, it says power, and it's going to subtract when we craft. Now, have no fear. Aboard your life pod are 3 self-charging power cells. Each one holds 25.
Continued degradation of the Aurora's drive core may cause a quantum detonation. Calculating risk assessment. Death by malnourishment, 7%. By physical injury, 11%. By exposure to radioactive crash site materials, 19%. If the drive core is breached, probability of death increases to 65%.
Okay, so these guys will actually recharge themselves on their own. You cannot remove them or take them. They're specific to the pod. Alright, so I'm also going to go ahead and cook some food. And I'm going to talk about the differences of cooking and curing food. When you cook food, just like in real life, you're going to want to eat it as soon as you cook it. Otherwise, it will go bad. If you cure the food, in order to cure it, you're going to need the fish plus a salt deposit. Curing the food will preserve it, and it will never go bad on you. But instead of giving you hydration like cooking the food, it will actually take away some hydration. So you want to make sure you have some water to compensate for that. But the cured food is definitely good for long trips where you're not going to be near your habitat or your life pod. Okay. Now, when you notice when I ate that food, it said plus 32 food. If we look at the raw fish, it's actually plus 18 and negative 7 hydration. When we cooked it, it was plus 32 food and plus 5 hydration. So, alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Resources, Basic Materials. We're going to come up here and click on Titanium. And that's going to take that salvage and turn it into 4 titanium. Those creepvine samples we're going to use to make silicone rubber. And we're going to need 2 clusters per rubber. We're going to need a total of 3 silicone rubbers. 1, 2, and finally number 3. We're also going to want a piece of glass. There we go. Perfect. Now that we have all our raw materials together, our materials processed, we're going to head over to Personal. We're going to go to Equipment, and we're going to first make ourselves an O2 tank. This is going to extend our breathing supply by 60 seconds. So you can see we have 105 seconds now of breathable air. We'll also go ahead and craft ourselves a set of fins. This will help us swim faster. Next, we're going to go down to Tools, and we'll be able to make ourselves a survival knife, which is 1 titanium and 1 silicone rubber. Perfect. Now we have our knife. Pull that out. We'll kind of feel it and give it a couple swings, make sure it's all proper. It's daytime again. You can tell that the aurora's getting a little more smoky. Some things are definitely happening. Let's head back into the water. Now we're going to head back into the kelp forest with our freshly made knife. And by the way, your knife actually has a durability. It's not infinite, it will break eventually. Now at this point in the game, you should be looking for copper and lead. You're going to need a total of 2 lead and, well, pretty much an infinite supply of copper. But what we're wanting to do here, you'll notice it says cut creepvine with knife. So if we come up here and just right-click with our knife, you'll see we got new recipes: fiber mesh, rebreather, and diving drill. We're going to want a total of 6 of these. There we go. We should have a little room, yeah. Just a wee bit. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some more salvage while we're at it. There we go. And we have 2 spots open. There's 1 piece of lead that just dropped.
Caution. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
We're going to talk about this next, once we get ourselves a scanner. That roaring sound you hear is actually a geothermal vent right there. There you go, see it? These are really good sources of energy. Titanium on full performing. Alright, let's head up. Actually, I can make room for 1 more by drinking. Let's see if we can get lucky and find 1 more lead. Let's try this now. I'm going to switch over my camera. Yeah, see that? Pressing E does nothing. May not be implemented. Well, let's get some air first before we do this. I normally the episode would be edited, but this one, because everything kind of happened so fast, I'm just going to let it run. There's one right here. Piece of copper. Oh, that did hurt. I've never been this low. I've never actually been that low down here. So that actually does hurt. Ow. I just learned something. We all learned something. Don't swim too close to the vent itself. Where's my life pod? There it is. So let's head back towards the pod. We'll go ahead and deposit some materials. Get another med kit. And we'll make some stuff. That way we can come back down here and try to find that second piece of lead. Alright. Home sweet home. You'll notice my health is coming back up. There we go. It's, I think, 15 minutes, actually. Oh. Wait. Did it drop on the ground or something? Nope, I couldn't recover it. But store the copper for now and the titanium, as we don't need that. Okay. Now that what we're going to do is make ourselves fiber mesh. It takes 2 of the creep lines to make, and you're going to want a total of 3 of these. We're going to go ahead and put one of them away, put our titanium away that we just made. Why don't I have another one? Okay. We'll just dump this in the ocean. Just right click and you'll drop an item. Pretty cool. So let's go this way. I thought I saw some deposits over here. I don't want to get too far from the aurora of my pod, because we're going to want to be on top of it when the last event occurs.
Warning, local radiation readings exhibit characteristics consistent with total degradation of the Aurora's dark matter drive core. A quantum detonation will occur with a probability of 85.5%. Advise observing a 1 kilometer safety range.
So that's the next to last warning from the ship about the ship or the Aurora. The next one will be when the warp core does go up. So, like I said, we want to stay close to the pod. But yet, at the same time, we will still want to be doing something functional because it's going to take a few minutes before the final message comes up. Alright. Come on.
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
And by the way, I'm going to let myself swim here for a minute. Oops. Never mind. Maybe on the next go. Where's the fuel? Here it is. Okay, see that scrap that seems to be swimming? That's actually a stalker pulling that around. We want to be careful around those. Those are aggressive fish. They will chase you and attempt to kill you. Oh, we went the wrong way, that's why. I use the Aurora for my center point of reference. And I'll usually swim up quite a bit to keep my bearings when I'm swimming around. Otherwise, you'll just get lost. As you can see, it can be hard to find these outcrops. I'd like to say they get easier with time, but it depends. That's a fragment. Man, oh, here's one. Okay, this one's sandstone. It's going to contain silver or gold. That one was silver. We're going to want a few silvers. You'll find them in kelp forest areas as well as the Great Plateaus. Here's one. What is this? Lime? That's gold. Well, you know where I saw that at? It's right down there where we basically almost got killed. I know where it was. And I'm not going back down there again. Where's our pod? There's our pod to the right. There we go. 2 pieces of lead. Perfect. Now we can build ourselves a radiation suit.
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
By the way, getting to the surface and swimming actually helps faster. You get a little extra bonus out of it. Plus, you don't consume oxygen. Notice the Aurora's getting real smoky now. See if we can get in our med kit. There we go. Now I can heal. Let's get ourselves, put this away, that away. Copper. We need the. Got 2 lead. Put the quartz away. Grab one of you. Let's go ahead and cook another peeper. Okay, now we'll go ahead and craft ourselves the radiation suit. You'll need 2 lead and 2 fiber mesh to make this. There we go. You'll get all parts of the suit at once, and you'll automatically equip them. Now we can go into the radiation zone with no problem whatsoever. Yeah, she's looking pretty right. She's about to blow up. I just hope we're far enough away. Now that we got that, we're going to want to turn our attention to repairing our pod. To do that, we're going to need to make a welder, which we need magnesium, crash powder, and titanium, which is not very hard to get any of these. In fact, we can probably pick up our crash powder right away. We just need to find a certain fish, which is not here. I saw one earlier. Like, literally when we first started the map, I saw one. I was like, nope, not down that hole.
Emergency.
Oh, here it is.
Seismic readings suggest a quantum detonation has occurred in the Aurora's drive core. The central dark matter reactor will reach a supercritical state in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Yes, sunset explosion.
2.
Sun. And that is the end of the Aurora. She has officially died. Whee! I found my med kit. It flew out of the pod. Nice. Alright, so that's the end of the Aurora. That'll be the end of the random messages that she sends out. We are officially done there. Now, all we need to do is find ourselves a crash powder. But we're going to have to do that next episode. Because we are, unfortunately, out of time. Next time we're going to come back, we're going to get our welding tools so we can repair our pod and communications array. We're also going to begin working on trying to make an easier way to capture fish, and a few other knickknacks. For now, this is Mr. Simple Majority signing off. I hope you enjoyed the episode. See you real soon.